Hey guys, welcome to HCC Afterschool. My name is Miss Genesis, and today we have an awesome experiment that hopefully our friend Mr. Scully, who is visiting us from remote, is going to tell us what's today's activity. Are you guys ready with me? If you are, come join us.
Hi, Mrs. Scully. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully your internet connection is decently stable and you can continue joining us. What's today's activity? Let's find out. Oh, I see. Exploring chemical reactions with baking soda and vinegar. Awesome sauce. Let's get started.
All right. That was a way of doing that, right? Awesome. Today's ingredients we need vinegar, some baking soda, some measuring cups. If you don't have measuring cups, get a clear cup, different sizes. It really doesn't matter. However, make sure that it is clear so we can really see what is it that we're looking at. All right, some measuring cups. We have some plates, just in case if they spill, we can always contain it. Some gloves, just to make sure that we keep ourselves protected. We need some paper towel, because it will get messy. And last but not least, our favorite ingredients in our science classes, food coloring. Once you get your materials, let's join us back so we can all do this together and find out what's really going on. Welcome back, guys. Hopefully everybody has all their materials in and we are ready to start. So first things first, let's start with our baking soda. What I would like you guys to do is pour in about half a cup of your baking soda. Or if you have your cups, just half of your cup, okay? So let's start. So I'm pouring in my baking soda. Now this is something that we use every single day. Maybe mom and dad use it. If you want to clean your house, if you want to brush your teeth with it, there's multiple purpose for it. But today we're going to use it for a specific science project, okay? So I'm putting in half a cup of baking soda into my measuring cup. Or in your case, your cups, whichever you guys have, okay? On the other cup, I want you guys to put the same amount of vinegar in a different cup or measuring cup. All right, so in this time, we're gonna have half the same amount. Now, you notice that it has a very strong and foul smell. For those who are very familiarized with vinegar, it has a very sour-like taste, right? Okay, and I'm gonna put mine in a different cup just to make sure that we don't really spill anything. Okay, once you have that, take your food coloring, whatever color you like, and pour in about 3 to 4 drops, very small. I'm going to choose strawberry today, and you're gonna pour it inside your vinegar cup. Okay, so let's see. 1, awesome, 2, and 3. Okay, so let that stir up, or if you want to see it flow, pretty cool, by all means. All right. Once you have everything set, let's start the experiment. Before we even start the experiment, let's recap some things. What's the difference between an acid and a base? An acid and a base are determined by something what we call hydrochloric acid ions. The higher it is, or the more concentrated it is, the more that's on the closer, smaller side of the numbers. The less of it, the bigger they are on the numbers. Notice that the scientists use something called the pH scale to determine whether a liquid is either an acid or a base, right? Notice that there are numbers from 0 to 14. The numbers that are closer or smaller from 0 to 7 are what we consider as acids. The numbers that are from 7 and 13 or 7 and above, we consider those as base. Now, why is a 7 not considered either an acid or a base? Well, think about it. If something is between each other, it's what? Neutral. What are some things that can be neutral? Water. Water is what we consider something to be a neutral liquid that is neither an acid nor a base. As you can see in my picture, we have baking soda at what? Let's find out. Baking soda is at number 9 on the pH scale, which means that baking soda is considered a base. Versus vinegar, vinegar is more where? Let's see.
Vinegar, it's more on the number 3. And the number 3, well, since it's between 0 and 7, we'll consider those as an acid. So think about it. We have an acid, vinegar, and a base, baking soda. So now, since we noticed what's the difference between an acid and a base, let's continue back to our experiment. All right, let's get started. So we have already our baking soda and our vinegar with our little food coloring. So let's see what's going on. Whoa, look at that. Now, our first chemical reaction, it's something that we may see it, but we may not really notice it. So, right now, they are making different chemicals. The vinegar right now is becoming something called acetic acid, right? And that acetic acid, when we combine it with the baking soda, it becomes sodium acetate. Don't worry about it. Baking soda, as you can see, our science term for it is called sodium bicarbonate. And when we add the vinegar to it, that whole chemical reaction changes the baking soda and it becomes something called carbonic acid. That's the first sign of new chemicals coming up. Fantastic. Let's find out what other kind of reactions can we find in this baking soda and vinegar experiment. Join me in another section. Now for the second part of the reaction, it's something that we visually see. As you can see here, I have the baking soda and the vinegar that we mixed, right? And it exploded. That explosion is the second type of chemical reaction. The carbonic acid, which is the baking soda, that remember that chemical change of that baking soda mixing with the vinegar, that rises up and it begins something what we called a decomposition reaction. And what that means is just to break something down into something that is much smaller or much simpler, right? And when that happens, the waters, as you can see, it changes and something is released. This something is called a gas, and that gas is called carbon dioxide, right? And that carbon dioxide, when it mixes, it creates these bubbles and these forms as we see. Let's watch it one more time. So I'm pouring again my vinegar, and again, it's that gas is being released, right? And that forms those bubbles and the foam that pushes and rises everything up, causing a chemical reaction, guys. So we just found out two ways with baking soda and vinegar and different types of chemical reaction. Let's recap real quick and see what we have learned. Let's recap what we have learned. We've learned today that vinegar is called an acid. It's considered as an acid versus baking soda, which is considered as a base. We also learned that when we mix our vinegar and our baking soda, it causes these new chemicals. Those new chemicals, one of them is called sodium acetate and the other one carbonic acid. We also noticed that when we did the second part of the experiment, we noticed these bubbles coming up. And we noticed what we called the decomposition reaction. The decomposition, like I said, is what makes things into simpler parts, right? And what that happens is that the gas, what was that again? Carbon dioxide. That gas rises up and forms these bubbles and it makes it explode, right? I hope you guys have learned something. Let's see if Mr. Scully has something to say about our experiment. Mr. Scully? Mrs. Scully, welcome back. Oh, I see. Oh, thank you for letting us know. There are 3 forms of matter: the solid, the liquid, and the gas. And thanks for pointing out what there were. The solid was definitely the baking soda, the liquid was the vinegar, and the gas was the carbon dioxide. Thank you so much, Mrs. Scully.
I am Miss Genesis. I hope to see all of you next time on the next video. Check out the other videos from HCC's After School, and I'll see you guys next time. Oh, don't forget, like, subscribe, and if you have anything to say, leave those comments below. See you soon, guys.